Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
That breaking news takes us to I-40 westbound near Gorman Street. You can see the huge backup it's causing, stretching all the way back to Hammond Road. I'll let you know how to get around it.
Breaking news, within the last 2 hours, the Durham County Sheriff's Office announced 3 arrests in the death of a woman. This morning, a rundown of the charges these people are facing.
And for most of us, it's the coldest morning so far this season. Freeze warning in effect. I'll show you what it will feel like as you step out the door.
And the floats are back. Big crowds are expected and safety is a top priority. The preparations happening today for the Raleigh Christmas Parade. It is tomorrow. I cannot believe it's finally here. We're all going to be there tomorrow morning. It's going to be a little chilly. We'll talk about that coming up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Chris Loving. It's going to be so cold when we're out there tomorrow, but that is why we're going to have the coats inbound. Elizabeth Gardner, she's already cold thinking about it, aren't you?
That's right. So I have 7 sweaters picked out. I'm going to be wearing all of them, just so you know. Freeze warning in effect this morning. It won't be quite as cold tomorrow morning as it is this morning. We take a live look at the parade route. It is all set, ready to go. But you know, Fayetteville Street can act like a wind tunnel. The tall buildings close together funnels the winds. So it'll be a chilly start tomorrow morning. 37 is our temperature right now. Temperatures are starting to climb. We bottomed out officially at RDU at around 34 degrees, and the previous coldest morning was 38 back on the 17th. So it's it was cold out there this morning. Still chilly in spots. 32 in Henderson, 34 Lewisburg and Roxborough, 36 Goldsboro, still 29 in Siler City, 32 in Sanford, 29 in Robbins. It's 35 in Irwin and in Clinton. So it's cold start out there. Our winds are on the lighter side, anywhere from about 3 to 6 miles per hour. But the wind, as it started to pick up in the last hour, is helping to warm up our temperatures a little bit. It'll be a chilly afternoon. High temperatures only in the low 50s. Coming up, we'll talk about what that will feel like with the wind chill coming up, Ken.
And staying on top of that breaking news in the southern loop of the Beltline, that huge backup as a result of this crash right here on Gorman Street. Interestingly enough, in the last couple of minutes, we've seen green showing back up, which tells me that this crash is likely in the clearing phase. As we widen out the view this morning, we're still seeing some lingering delays there in those westbound lanes. As we go outside and show you exactly what we're talking about here, this is I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Still, you can see traffic is still moving rather slowly in those westbound lanes. I'll keep an eye on it and let you know exactly how it's going to continue and whether or not those delays will increase this morning. You see the northern loop of the Beltline. That's the usual congestion that's building there in terms of those lanes coming off of I-87 and then heading over to the northern loop. Capitol Boulevard, you know the drill. Each and every morning you got more people on the road, you got traffic lights, and therein lies what you see in terms of the delays coming in from Wake Forest this morning. Listen, you're getting ready to head out. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle. You also have a couple more options as well, 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Breaking news, just before 6 a.m., the Durham County Sheriff's Office announced arrest in the killing of a woman outside a cookout restaurant. 2 of those 3 people are charged with murder. Officers arrested 23-year-old Alexander Carlton Jr. and 18-year-old Calvin Spence Jr. on murder charges. They're charged in connection with the death of Devicia Lee. A third person, Jamar McKnight, was also arrested on a misdemeanor charge. Lee was shot and killed on October 26th outside the cookout on South Miami Boulevard. Her father told WRAL she had just recently moved to North Carolina from Florida. Carlton and Spence are due to make their first court appearance this morning.
A lane of northbound I-95 near Smithfield is closed this morning. Crews are working to repair a huge bump in the roadway that developed during construction work. Some cars that hit it yesterday before the lane was closed reportedly went airborne. The DOT says the bump sprung up after a contractor working to build a bridge near exit 95 drilled under the road surface. The right-hand lane raised by about a foot. Drivers who hit it called police after it nearly caused them to bounce off the road. The DOT closed the lane at noon yesterday for repair work. And preparations are happening today for the Raleigh Christmas Parade. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in downtown Raleigh this morning. Kelsey, thousands of people will gather downtown for this holiday tradition. You're getting a little taste of the cold this morning, too.
Yes, Michelle, good morning. So floats will be back next year. That has a lot of folks excited right now. And we're expecting to see huge crowds here in downtown Raleigh tomorrow morning. But let's take you to some video now so you can see all of the fun from last year. You should arrive early tomorrow as thousands of people are expected to be downtown. Some people may arrive as early as 7 o'clock. This year's route will be like normal. Floats will pass the Capitol Building and Memorial Auditorium before ending at the Raleigh Convention Center and Red Hat Amphitheater. We spoke with the managing director of Theater in the Park ahead of the big event. He says safety is a top priority for this year's parade.
They're vetting all the drivers, they're vetting the floats, they're doing all that. They're making sure that we have everything that we need to be safe.
And if you want to enjoy the parade from the comforts of your own couch at home, you can tune into WRAL tomorrow morning starting at 9 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And participants in the parade will need to sign a new waiver this year. It says the city of Raleigh will not be held legally responsible if anything happens to them. It comes 2 years after 11-year-old Haley Brooks was killed at the parade. All the vehicles, floats, antique cars, and walking groups that will be in the parade will be required to sign those waivers.
Now, if you can't make it downtown, you can watch the parade at home with us here at WRAL. We will bring you a live broadcast tomorrow morning full of all the local marching bands, the businesses, dazzling floats, and everyone's favorite, Santa Claus. You can get in the holiday spirit, cozy up with some hot chocolate, and watch all the festivities tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. on WRAL. We'll have full coverage of the preparations for the Christmas parade throughout the day today. Just make sure you tune in to our newscasts from 4 to 7:30 this evening on WRAL.
Durham police released new details about the shooting of a teenager by one of its officers. Police Chief Patrice Andrews says the investigation suggests no wrongdoing by the officer, Corporal Rex McQueen. She commended McQueen and other officers who provided first aid to that 16-year-old. Andrews also disputed claims by the teenager's relatives, who said he was shot in the back.
Surveillance video shows 3 masked men trying to break into a Cary apartment by kicking in the door. This happened at the Axis Crossroads last Thursday night at about 8 o'clock. Well, now the apartment complex is allowing the people who live in that apartment to move out early. Just weeks earlier, surveillance video shows 2 people, one of them masked, showing up outside that same apartment. People who live there say the apartment complex management would not let them break their lease over safety concerns. Well, WRAL reached out to the complex, and after that, the residents got a call from management saying they were free to leave. Cary Police is investigating the attempted break-in.
Today, the I-440 interchange with New Bern Avenue officially becomes the Coach George Williams interchange. The DOT announced in July that Williams would get the honor. Williams coached the men's and women's track and field teams at St. Augustine's University for 44 years. He led them to 39 national titles. He was also the head coach of the 2004 U.S. Olympic track and field team. A dedication ceremony is happening at 5 o'clock this evening at the Raleigh Marriott at Crabtree Valley.
Today, we'll learn the name and the logo for the new minor league baseball team coming to Wilson. The Carolina Mudcats will move to a new stadium in downtown Wilson in 2026. The Milwaukee Brewers are the team's major league parent club. The team will host a public celebration of the new name and branding at 2 this afternoon at Wilson Industrial Air Center. Fans will be able to buy clothing, hats, and other merchandise with the new name and the new logo, too.
NC State loses a heartbreaker at Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets quarterback Aaron Philo ran for 18 yards for a touchdown with less than 30 seconds left to give his team a 1-point lead. The Wolfpack got one more chance, but kicker Colin Smith was wide left on a 58-yard field goal. NC State falls 30-29. The Wolfpack are now 5-6. They play UNC next week. Well, ice skating and carriage rides are coming to the plaza in Fenton when you can visit to watch the shopping center's 40-foot tree go up in lights for the holidays.
And you might not want to order ground beef, at least at dinner. Thousands of pounds of meat sent to restaurants have been recalled. Why investigators are worried about E. coli linked to that product.
And it looks like the holidays in a lot of places and feels like it this morning, too. Our temperatures are solidly in the 30s. We do have a wind chill that will make it feel even colder. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Welcome back on your Friday morning as we take a live look over Cary. Some sunshine peeking through there. A couple clouds in the sky, but it sure is a chilly start to your Friday morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner following a freeze warning.
Yeah, we still have about 45 minutes left on our freeze warning. Temperatures are climbing up above freezing. I think we've seen our coldest temperatures already, but we just wanted to remind you it's a cold start out there this morning. It's 37 in Durham and Raleigh. We fell down at least to 34. We got close to freezing in the Triangle, and this morning was definitely the coldest that we've seen so far this season. It's 34 in Roxborough and Henderson now, 37 Rocky Mount, Wilson, Goldsboro. It's now 32 in Siler City, 33 in Sanford, 32 in Robbins, 37 Fayetteville and Clinton. So we're coming on up into the mid to upper 30s now after being pretty chilly this morning. We take a look at our cameras and we're looking at bright sunny skies in Fayetteville. Some cloud cover though elsewhere. Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, all dealing with a mix of sun and clouds. But those clouds are not going to stick around too long. They'll be moving out. We'll see mostly sunny skies this afternoon. There is still a bit of a wind chill. Even though temperatures are climbing into the mid to upper 30s, it does still feel like 32 in Fayetteville, Raleigh, and Durham. It feels like 32 in Goldsboro and Rocky Mount, and 30 in South Hill. That box on the right side, the white box, is where we have the feels like temperature. It's going to feel chilly all day. This is a look at our hour-by-hour wind chill. 42 at lunchtime, 44 this afternoon. So we may see some sunshine, but it'll be a bit breezy and chilly. Snow is still falling in the mountains. We've had some gorgeous cameras to take a peek at. As a matter of fact, Sugar Mountain Ski Resort, there near Boone, is opening today. I think they decided last minute. They got so much snow last night. They're just going to go for it. There'll continue to be some snow there today. And by Saturday, we could see another inch to 2 inches in our mountains and even more than that up into West Virginia. We take a live look at Lee's McRae. Still snowing. It's a little breezy, but what a beautiful sight that is. You can see the flag kind of waving in the breeze. It's pretty chilly there. The only precipitation that we're going to see anytime soon is some rain. We could see some Tuesday, but of course we're focusing on what could happen Thanksgiving. Right now it looks like we have a better chance for rain on Thursday, maybe even into early Friday morning. Here's a look at Futurecast, and Wednesday looks dry if you're going to be traveling, and then it looks like we could have some showers developing in the afternoon Thursday, maybe into early Friday morning. It'll be cool also, so cloudy 50s with some scattered rain on Thursday. Now, of course, Thursday is a little under a week away, so just be sure you're checking back if you have travel plans. That forecast, could slide, either side of Wednesday into Friday. It's going to be a nice weekend for us. We'll see 60 for tomorrow and 65 on Sunday, and then we'll, of course, be talking more about a little bit of rain for next week. Ken?
Elizabeth, good news to report on that backup we've been following on the southern loop of the Beltline this morning. This crash is likely in the clearing phase at I-40 and Gorman Street as we take a look at, courtesy of our live cam network, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Even though traffic is moving a little slowly, at least it's moving right now. So it stands to reason that crash has cleared, and we'll keep an eye on it just in case something picks up and you need to know about it this morning. We're seeing the usual slowdown this morning at Capitol Boulevard coming in on US 1. We want to isolate the Beltline as well. You can see that crash and all the delay-free lanes that we're seeing there. That northern loop of the Beltline, that's a usual congestion we see this time of the morning. To that end, let's take you outside and show you what you can expect if you're heading that way. The westbound lanes of I-440 coming toward us this morning, courtesy of live cam network, I-440 and Capitol Boulevard. You're getting ready to head out this morning. We will always keep you updated on the radio. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle. You have a couple more options as well. 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
This morning, we are learning more about a Duke Energy lineman who died on the job in Lee County. Friends identified him to WRAL as Bryce Freeman. Duke Energy says he died accidentally in Sanford on Wednesday night. Freeman's longtime friend, Drew Lyerly, spoke with WRAL about him. He said that Freeman loved his job and loved helping people. Lyerly said Freeman was committed to helping others.
Him being a lineman, he's, on call a lot, helping all the the people that need to get their power on and doing that for them, which he's a hero.
More than 33,000 homes lost power Wednesday night as gusty winds blew through. Duke Energy has not confirmed whether Freeman died while working to restore those outages. The utility company says it's still investigating what happened.
A major storm dumped record rain on Northern California. Several areas were flooded and hundreds of thousands of people were without power. In one of the counties there, multiple roads are closed or under caution because of flooding from severe weather. Santa Rosa leaders urged drivers to stay off the roads after the city received more than 10 inches of rain in more than 48 hours. Forecasters warned that risk of flooding and rock slides could continue. An NC State faculty member who created the popular website How Stuff Works has died. Marshall Bryan died in his office on NC State Centennial's campus. While the university wouldn't confirm any details related to his death, sources say that he died by suicide. The NC State Police Department says it is no longer investigating the case and foul play is not suspected. Now, if you or someone you know is suffering, you can contact the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That's at 988. You can do that anytime. You can also visit WRAL.com and search Get Help for additional resources in our area.
The founder of a tech startup is facing federal fraud charges over how she used millions of dollars of investors' money. She's also the leader of a school in Raleigh. Joanna Smith Griffin was named head of Guidepost Montessori in Northeast Raleigh in August. She's accused of receiving nearly $10 million from investors for her AI startup, All Here Education, and also using part of it to buy a house and pay for her wedding. Court documents say that she repeatedly misled investors, employees, and customers by inflating All Here's revenue. An employee of Guidepost Montessori told WRAL the school has no comment on the charges.
We have learned more from the city of Raleigh about the issues related to their 4th of July fireworks show. You may remember that show malfunctioned while setting off the display at Dix Park. Records show the city had to pay $30,000 for a deposit on the fireworks, and we confirmed that it's money the city will not get back. A company called Pyrotechnico was in charge of this show.
President-elect Donald Trump's pick for defense secretary is under new scrutiny. A police report obtained by NBC News revealed the details of a sexual assault allegation against Pete Hegseth. A woman says that she met Hegseth at a hotel where she was speaking in 2017. She claims that Hegseth took her phone and blocked her attempt to leave the room. She also says that she blacked out at one point. Police who investigated did not file any charges. Hegseth denies any wrongdoing.
The FBI is working to identify the suspects in a string of burglaries involving professional athletes. According to a source, the agency believes the suspects could be part of a transnational crime group or burglary tourists. This comes after the NFL issued a warning to teams and players about an organized group of criminals targeting athletes' homes. The latest burglaries involve Kansas City Chiefs Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. The NFL gave teams and players a list of precautions to protect themselves.
We have another E. coli outbreak to report, this one linked to ground beef out of Minnesota. This is the same strain of bacteria that sickened more than 100 people after they ate McDonald's Quarter Pounders. The slivered onions were named as the likely source for that outbreak, and now more than 160,000 pounds of ground beef have been recalled. The beef came from Wolverine Packing Company. It's a meat distributor based in Detroit. More than a dozen people are sick so far. Items were shipped to restaurants nationwide. The Food Safety and Inspection Service says it is working with Minnesota departments to investigate.
Payment apps and digital wallets will soon have to abide by new rules. The rules by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau will give federal leaders more oversight of apps processing at least 50 million transactions per year. That includes Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. This should give people more control over their data and easier ways to dispute incorrect or even fraudulent transactions. A lot going on this weekend, including some holiday fun.
Yeah, let's get a look at this weekend's best bets from WRAL's Out and About. The skating rink at Raleigh's Red Hat Amphitheater, that opens tomorrow. There will also be a 20-foot Christmas tree, a snack bar, and games to enjoy. And if you just want to relax, there will be outdoor lounging furniture and also heat warmers, which you'll need tomorrow.
You definitely will. The holidays will get into full swing this weekend at Fenton and Cary. The lighting of the Square event is happening tomorrow. This is a look at last year's celebration. There will be ice skating, carriage rides, performances, and the lighting of Fenton's 40-foot tall Christmas tree. The event is happening from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Be fun. And 7-time Grammy winner Gladys Knight will be in Raleigh this weekend. Tomorrow night, she'll perform with the North Carolina Symphony. Knight is expected to perform hits like I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Midnight Train to Georgia, and many more. The concert is happening at the Martin Marietta Center in Raleigh. And for more on this and other events this weekend, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About. Gladys Knight.
Well, I thought you were about to start singing Midnight Train to Georgia. The way you went down, you said the Midnight Train to Georgia.
I know. I wanted to.
All right. Your time right now is 8:22. A Wisconsin man is alive in Europe after faking his death to escape his family. This morning, hear the message police had him record to prove his safety.
And get ready for holiday traffic to start picking up this weekend. Hundreds of thousands of people will pass through RDU for Thanksgiving. We look at how the airport is preparing.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. It is a chilly start to our Friday. We have about 30 minutes left of a freeze warning, Elizabeth.
We've definitely seen the temperatures climbing in the last hour, but it's still in the 30s. Still really chilly as you're heading out the door. This is a live look at Apex. Definitely people bundled up as they're walking up and down Salem Street this morning. Town by town, temperatures are now in the mid to upper 30s. It's 36 in Lewisburg, 37 Fayetteville, 35 in Irwin. We're seeing a mix of sun and clouds right now, but we still have some breezy conditions, so the wind chill is still down in the low 30s. It feels like 31 in Roxborough, 32 in Raleigh and Fayetteville, 33 in Clinton. We'll see breezy conditions through the afternoon and an afternoon high in the low 50s, but it'll feel more like 40s. We're looking at temperatures feeling like 40s at the start of the Christmas parade tomorrow, Ken.
All right, happening now in the WRA Traffic Center. A lot of our major roadways this time of the morning free and clear, just relatively delay-free. We're talking about the Beltline, I-540 this morning, the Durham Freeway 885 in and out of the Durham. There's a crash on Capitol Boulevard that could cause some delays. Let's look at those delay times into the capital city this morning. Right now, it's only about a 5-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest to the capital city, which is great news. Really, that's in double digits usually this time of the morning. Of course, I'll have an update on your morning commute at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
Thanks, Ken. A Duke Energy lineman died while working in Lee County. The company says it happened in Sanford on Wednesday night when strong winds knocked out power to more than 33,000 homes. The utility company says it is still investigating what happened. Coming up next on Fox 50, the Raleigh Christmas Parade is tomorrow. How safety is a top priority. And next on Today, a performance by the Avett Brothers and the cast of the new Broadway show, Swept Away.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, the Durham County Sheriff's Office announced new arrests in the killing of a woman outside of a cookout restaurant. This morning, a look at the charges 3 people now face.
And freeze warning is in effect just for a few more minutes. Temperatures are still climbing, but still in the 30s as you step out the door.
And preparations happening today for the Raleigh Christmas Parade. What you need to know about the route, the parking, getting there early, and keeping you and your family safe as you enjoy the holiday tradition.
And RDU is preparing for a busy week ahead, anticipating hundreds of thousands of travelers for the Thanksgiving holiday. Oh, it's going to be a pretty busy one there, I'm sure. But hey, pretty busy one down at the Raleigh Christmas Parade. We'll be there. That'd be fun.
We will, yes.
We're excited to it. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. I will talk about all of that coming up. But first, we have to get over to Elizabeth. We have about 30 minutes left on this freeze warning, Elizabeth.
We do. And temperatures have been climbing, or mostly above freezing at this point. We take a live look here at Fayetteville Street. Tomorrow, I'm planning to wear at least 6 or 7 layers standing out by the parade route. I'm really not kidding too much about that, a little bit. But, Fayetteville Street tends to act as a wind tunnel. Those tall buildings will funnel that air and make it move faster. So it's going to be breezy and chilly for tomorrow morning, but not quite as cold as it's been this morning. Right now it's 37 at RDU. We're seeing a west wind at 6 miles per hour. We did drop down, at least in our hourly reports, to 34 this morning at RDU. And the previous coldest on November 17th, it was 38. So coldest morning so far this season at RDU. But we didn't quite hit that 32-degree mark. Right now, temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s. 34 Roxborough, 37 Wilson and Goldsboro. We head to the south. Siler City is chilly at 32. Sanford's at 33, but most of us are seeing temperatures climbing above freezing at this point. Hour by hour, we'll be in the low 50s for this afternoon. And coming up, we're going to talk more about our hour-by-hour forecast for the Christmas parade tomorrow, Ken.
Elizabeth, I will be bundled up right next to you tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Listen, here's what you can expect as you're heading out this morning. Just a couple of incidents showing up on our live traffic map this morning. This crash in Capitol Boulevard. In the southbound lane near Durant Road, you can see slowdowns on Capitol Boulevard right now. So just keep that in mind. You're about to head out, particularly if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. You're probably looking at a 3 to 5 minute delay up in Capitol One. There's a serious crash on Miami Boulevard in the southbound lane there in Durham County near Searles Court, probably in a neighborhood. Nothing that's going to affect your major commute this morning, but I thought you should know about it just in case. When I isolate the Beltline this morning, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown right there in that section of the Beltline. We're going to try to figure out exactly what's going on. I'll let you know in the 9 o'clock hour. But right now, the Beltline looks free and clear, which is unheard of this time of the morning. Of course, it's Friday. Maybe you're taking a 3-day weekend. Who knows? Here's a live look at I-440 and Capitol Boulevard. You can see traffic is moving at a steady clip in both directions, which is good news. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle. You also have a couple of more options to do the same. 99.3 FM in Raleigh, 96.5 FM in Durham.
Breaking news at 6 a.m. The Durham County Sheriff's Office announced 3 arrests in connection with a shooting that killed a woman outside a cookout restaurant. 2 of those people are charged with murder. Authorities arrested 23-year-old Alexander Carlton Jr. and 18-year-old Calvin Spence Jr. on murder charges. They're charged in connection with the death of Devicia Lee. A third person, Jamar McKnight, was also arrested on a misdemeanor charge. Lee was shot and killed on October 26th outside the cookout on South Miami Boulevard. Her father told WRAL she had recently moved to North Carolina from Florida. Carlton and Spence are both due to make their first court appearance this morning. And a lane of northbound I-95 near Smithfield is closed this morning. Crews are working to repair a huge bump in the roadway that developed during construction work. Some cars that hit it yesterday before the lane was closed reportedly went airborne. The DOT says the bump sprung up after a contractor working to build a bridge near exit 95 drilled under the road surface. The right-hand lane raised by about a foot. Drivers who hit it called police after it nearly caused them to bounce off the road. The DOT closed the lane at noon yesterday for repair work.
Preparations will be happening today for the Raleigh Christmas Parade. Organizers have new plans in place to protect you and your family. As WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains, thousands of people will gather downtown for this holiday tradition.
Floats will be back this year. A lot of folks are excited about that, and we're expecting to see huge crowds here in downtown Raleigh tomorrow morning. Take a look at this video of all of the fun from last year. You should arrive early tomorrow as thousands of people are expected to be downtown. Some people arrive as early as 7 o'clock. This year's route will be like normal. Floats will pass the Capitol Building and Memorial Auditorium before ending at the Raleigh Convention Center and Red Hat Amphitheater. We spoke with the managing director of Theater in the Park ahead of the big event. He says safety is a top priority for this year's parade.
They're vetting all the drivers, they're vetting the floats, they're doing all that. They're making sure that we have everything that we need to be safe.
Now, there will be a chill tomorrow morning, so if you want to enjoy the parade from the comfort of your own couch, just tune into WRAL. Our coverage will start tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
And participants in the parade will need to sign a new waiver this year. It says the city of Raleigh will not be held legally responsible if anything happens to them. It comes 2 years after 11-year-old Haley Brooks was killed at the parade. All the vehicles, floats, antique cars, and walking groups that will be in the parade will be required to sign the waivers.
Now, if you can't make it downtown, you can watch the parade at home with us over on WRAL. We'll bring you a live broadcast tomorrow morning filled with all the area marching bands, the business businesses, dazzling floats, and everyone's favorite, Santa Claus. Get in the holiday spirit, cozy up with some hot chocolate, and watch all the festivities tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. on WRAL. And we will have full coverage of the preparations for the Christmas parade throughout today. Make sure to tune in during our newscast from 4 to 7:30 this evening on WRAL.
And Jeff Hogan in the WRAL Live Center with an update from Cumberland County in anticipation of these freezing temperatures. Coldest air of our season has arrived right now and in the following months over winter. Cumberland County has decided to open its government facilities as warming centers. So the County Department of Social Services will be open on Ramsey Street, the Department of Public Health as well on Ramsey Street. All 8 county public libraries there in Cumberland County. The transit system there, FAST, that'll be opening its lobby, and Cumberland Parks and Recreation Center opening its lobby as well for folks who need a place, don't have heat, and want to get out of the cold. There it is for Cumberland County.
Helpful. Thank you, Jeff. Durham police have released new details about the shooting of a teenager by one of its officers. Police Chief Patrice Andrews says the investigation suggests no wrongdoing by the officer, Corporal Rex McQueen. She describes what she saw on the body camera video and commended McQueen and other officers who provided first aid to the 16-year-old.
Their quick actions in locating this person, this juvenile, and using their training experience to render aid were very likely and do very likely contribute to the fact that he is alive today.
Andrews urged parents to talk to their children about the dangers of firearms. Andrews also disputed claims by the teenager's relatives who said that he was shot in the back.
One of 3 people found dead in a Cary home this week had a gun near his body. That's according to a search warrant. Police found the weapon near 19-year-old Xavier Holton in a second-floor bathroom. His girlfriend and mother were found dead on the first floor. Police recovered 4 shell casings from the scene there. Holton's stepfather told WRAL the 19-year-old was supposed to see a therapist this week.
And the family of a special needs student who was assaulted by his teacher is suing the Wake County Board of Education and several district officials. The lawsuit claims that school and district leaders were aware of the assaults but did not report them to authorities. A 6-month WRAL investigation revealed the district allowed James Rencher to remain in the classroom despite multiple warnings from staff about his abusive behavior. Rencher was found guilty last Friday on 6 counts of assaulting students with disabilities. One of the plaintiffs in this case, who is the parent of one of the victims, is a WRAL employee.
A man is charged for a shooting on the NC Central campus just a month ago where several people were injured. Jerick Woods surrendered to Orange County deputies, assault with a deadly weapon and firing a gun on educational property. Those are the charges he faces. The shooting happened during homecoming and 4 people were hurt during that. This was the second shooting on campus that night.
RDU is preparing for the busy holiday travel season. The airport broke another holiday traffic record over Labor Day. More than 188,000 passengers traveled through RDU during the Labor Day weekend. Nearly 1.4 million travelers through RDU Airport last month. RDU expects a high volume of travelers over the Thanksgiving holiday. In 2023, the airport welcomed more than 400,000 Thanksgiving travelers.
Tonight, downtown Raleigh will light up for the holidays. The annual tree lighting celebration is happening at the Martin Marietta Center for the Performing Arts. The video you're seeing here is from last year. The ceremony begins at 6:15, and this event will feature performances by local artists and a holiday vendor market.
And WRAL and Fox 50 are your homes for Sunday NFL action in Week 12. First on Fox 50, the Dallas Cowboys play the Washington Commanders. That game starts at 1 o'clock. And then at 4:25, the San Francisco 49ers are in Green Bay to take on the Packers. And then after that, flip it over to WRAL for Football Night in America. The Sunday night game will feature the Philadelphia Eagles and the LA Rams. Kickoff for that game is at 8:15. And tomorrow on WRAL, 2 top 5 teams will face off in a game that will help shape the college football playoff picture. Number 2, Ohio State hosts number 5, undefeated Indiana. You can catch all the action on Fox 50 starting at noon.
Former Congressman Matt Gaetz withdrew from consideration as Attorney General. We are going to look into the woman who President-elect Trump has tapped to step into the role now.
And a restless volcano erupts for a 7th time in Iceland. How the active situation is impacting people who call the island country home.
And you'll want to bundle up before you head out this morning. You are looking live right now in downtown Cary, beautiful park that's out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has our weekend forecast. It's chilly, at least for tomorrow. Getting a look at downtown Raleigh right now. It's pretty quiet, but that's going to change up because it's the Raleigh Christmas Parade tomorrow. We are so excited for it. But if you're going out there, get a coat. It's going to be chilly when you're waking up. Right? Isn't that right, Elizabeth?
It is. Boy, temperatures are in the 30s right now. Still feels like low 30s with the wind chill. It won't be quite as cold tomorrow morning, but it'll be cold enough, that's for sure. Temperature at parade start time around 9 o'clock is going to be in the mid to upper 40s. It'll feel like low 40s with the wind chill. You know, Fayetteville Street tends to act like a wind tunnel. It gets pretty breezy there. There will be some wind chill no matter where you are. Tomorrow morning, if you're out on the parade route early, it'll feel like upper 30s. By 10 o'clock, it'll feel like mid 40s. And then by noon, once the parade is over, there won't be much wind chill at that point. Temperatures will be in the mid 50s, and we're going to see a pretty pleasant afternoon tomorrow. Only a few more minutes left on our freeze warning, and the temperatures have really started to warm up. We're sitting at 37 right now at RDU. We did drop down to 34, and so we have seen the coldest morning so far this fall season, and temperatures starting to creep up. 34 in Siler City, 37 in Wilson, 38 in South Hill right now. We head down to the south, and we're above freezing here too. 34 Sanford and Robbins, 38 Southern Pines, 39 in Clinton. Now, I don't think we quite got to that 32. What we see is the hourly report that shows up here. So sometimes between the hour, temperature drops a little bit more, but it does not look like we've hit our first freeze. So we're definitely behind in terms of the average first freeze. The latest was December 3rd, 1931, and then November 28th and November 26th are second and third. And I don't know, we don't really have any more freezing temperatures in our forecast for the next 7 days. So we are definitely behind, and that's probably okay for some people. 37 is our temperature right now. Downtown Raleigh is 51, or we will see a high of 51 in Raleigh, 50 in Durham, and 53 in Fayetteville. It is going to be a little bit breezy this afternoon. We have some cloud cover out there right now in a few places, and we had a few clouds last night with our cold front coming through. Sherry Capp sent us this really nice photo of pine tops or pine level, I should say, and we love to see your weather watcher photos. Our wind is at about 6 to 7 miles per hour in some places, so there's just a hint of a breeze. We'll be breezier this afternoon, 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's going to make it feel more like 40s this afternoon. Looking ahead to Saturday evening, it's going to be a pleasant day Saturday, a high of around 60. If you're tailgating before the Virginia Tech and Duke game, temperatures will be mid to upper 50s and then falling into the 40s during game time. And not a bad day Saturday at 60 and Sunday 65. Looking ahead to Thanksgiving Day, it's looking more likely that we'll have some showers.
President-elect Donald Trump is now calling on former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi to be his attorney general. Trump tapped Bondi for the role just hours after Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration. In a social media post, Trump called Bondi, quote, smart and tough, and said she will refocus the Justice Department. Bondi was part of Trump's legal team during the proceedings of his first impeachment.
It's been more than 2 months since a 44-year-old Wisconsin man vanished while on a fishing trip. After weeks of searching for 44-year-old Ryan Bogwart, police say he is alive and living in Eastern Europe. They asked him to record this video.
I'm in my apartment. I am safe, secure, no problem.
Borgward says this video was recorded November 11th. According to the sheriff, he overturned his kayak and dumped his phone in a lake to fake his death. Investigators searched for his body for more than 50 days. Investigators say Borgward has not said exactly where he is in Eastern Europe or why he left the U.S. He is married with 3 children and abandoned his family when he left the country. Why he faked his death and fled the country is still unclear.
More encouraging signs of progress when it comes to Helene recovery in western North Carolina. What you're seeing here is a picture of Lake Lure. It was taken on October 15th, more than 2 weeks after the storm hit. And there is so much debris in the lake, you can't even see the water. A new photo shared by the town on Facebook last week shows a lot of progress on the lake there. Nearly 8,000 cubic yards of debris has been removed. There is still a lot of work to be done, though, to help the people in the Lake Lure area. Volunteers are key to this effort. Ronnie Rebar has been there for 8 weeks after coming in from Myrtle Beach to help.
A lot of people are starting to go into where they haven't received paychecks for a couple weeks now. So they're still needing the necessities. You know, we're just trying to help people with, rice, crackers, drinks, sports drinks.
Town leaders say they have been overwhelmed by the donations they've received. They say there is no further need for donations of supplies or even clothing.
A spokesperson for the governor's office tells WRAL the governor has confidence the state's disaster response agency can be straightened out. State lawmakers were told Wednesday night that Laura Hogshead was fired by Governor Cooper. Hogshead led Rebuild NC for 6 years, overseeing housing recovery after Hurricanes Matthew and Florence. Thousands of people are still waiting for help after those storms, and the program is $300 million short of what it needs to finish the task. This week, lawmakers agreed to give the program another $50 million.
I absolutely hate giving them another dollar, but the reason that we gave that money is because I don't want the folks who have their houses being built right now for that construction to stop.
Pryor Gibson is the interim replacement.
We're seeing new video of the volcanic eruption happening in Iceland. It erupted Wednesday night for the 7th time this year. Iceland's meteorological office says this eruption was significantly smaller than the last one back in August. Officials say earthquakes in that area caused the latest eruption. Tough to see this one. Thursday night football game between the Browns and Steelers looked more like a snow globe at times than a sporting event. Snow blanketed the field in Cleveland during the game's second half. The Browns took an 18-6 lead in the fourth quarter, but Pittsburgh was able to come back, scoring twice to take a 19-18 lead. Nick Chubb got the Browns back into the lead again with a touchdown with a minute left. Cleveland held on for a 24-19 win.
I'm surprised they even got that many points. That was impressive. You're not happy, though. I know. No. All right, well, the North Carolina mountains were also pounded with heavy snow last night. This is video from one of our WRAL live cameras and Banner Elk showing how hard that snow is coming down. It's going sideways. The National Weather Service has Banner Elk and the surrounding area under a winter weather advisory until tomorrow morning.
It's a highlight weekend at the movies with both Wicked and Gladiator 2 heading to the big screen. Ashley Dvorkin previews both films and take a look at whether this is the new Barbenheimer at the box office.
You fight or you die.
A sequel and a musical, arena battles and Broadway ballads. It's time for Gladiator 2 and Wicked, a.k.a. Glicked.
You're great.
3-time Tony-winning musical Wicked is bound to be popular with its longtime fans, as it defies gravity to top the box office. The film adaptation, directed by John M. Chu, stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The Wizard of Oz backstory is about the friendship between Elphaba and Glinda, who become the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good. It's part 1 of 2 films, so consider the ending intermission.
Strength to none.
Return to Rome 24 years later with Ridley Scott. The filmmaker follows up Gladiator with an equally epic part 2, starring Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, and Connie Nielsen. Mescal stars as Lucius in the Colosseum years after witnessing the death of Maximus, tapping into his strength to return Rome to its people.
Don't be afraid.
Early box office projections have Warner Brothers Pictures' PG family-friendly Wicked earning a $100 million debut, placing it number 1 with the R-rated action-packed Gladiator 2 expected to follow in second place. Both may also make their way into awards season. The combo of these 2 highly anticipated, very different films is reminiscent of last year's Barbenheimer.
For the glory of Rome.
The movies could make a fun double feature too, though a long one, with Wicked and Gladiator 2, both around 2.5 hours long. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Are you going to go watch Wicked?
Yes, my fiance and I are going tonight to go see Wicked. We secured the tickets. He
Good.
got them a couple days ago because I thought we were going to have trouble because it's such a huge debut.
It's very popular,
yes.
But what I want to know, are you going to sing during the movies?
No. And I heard that they play like a 30-second clip of Silence is Golden, telling people just shh.
But you know,
let the actors sing.
Some theaters will allow people to sing in some of the screenings. And you know how that may be received?
What?
It might be popular.
Oh, my goodness.
It just might be popular.
And with that, we are going to go to break. Here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll be right back.